Say what? Yeah, no. Oh, we got one. Just a couple of pelotas sitting around here. Now, I think there are two types of throwers in the game of football. I think there are linear throwers. Okay, guys that really like lean over. If you drew a straight line from the ball to their front point, they are linear throwers, okay? Now, I also think there are rotational throwers. Guys that every time they throw, their shoulders at a parallel, okay? Their spinal column is in perfect tact, right? Right now, you could draw a line right down the zipper of their body, okay? Every single time they throw, their shoulders are square. Now, the University of Georgia, I believe, has one rotational thrower, one linear thrower, and a guy in Gunnar Stockton that I don't know yet because we haven't seen a large sample size of them. But I'm going to show you a bunch of photos today. I'm going to go through this whole rigmarole about how there's linear throwers and there are rotational throwers. And the bottom line, before I get into any of this, is to tell you that there is ways to have success in both of these, okay? There is not a preferred method, even though I think there is a preferred method, and the greatest guy to ever play the position has chosen a preferred method. However, there are great football players doing both of these things, and I think we've shown you on this channel that quarterback play is far more about processing and making the right decision than it is about how well you throw the football. However, your mechanics will lead to consistencies or inconsistencies. Everybody ready? Linear, rotational. Here we go. Let me show you the difference. Now, here is your starting quarterback at the University of Georgia. Can you give me Epic Pen somehow? Actually, let me try it right here. Type in type in Epic Pen over there. Anyways, so here we go. Check out here. The front hip right here is pulled back. We've rotated. All right, the shoulders are square. We're on the side of this football. Our fingers are on the side and edge of this ball, right? We could draw a line straight down the middle of our body. We got a little bend in our front knee, okay? You see how the back hip is back, the front hip is rotating back, the back hip is rotating forward. We got this pivoting, okay, this rotational energy around the center line of our body, right? That is what rotational throwers look like. All right, now, that is what a rotational thrower looks like. Let's show you what a linear thrower looks like. All right, I told you, linear throwers, we can draw a straight line, not down the middle of their body, not down the core of their body, but from that front toe, okay, through that release point of that football. Okay, that is what a linear thrower looks like. Now, what you will notice is, somebody called it a reverse abdomen crunch, one of those kind of lean, whatever you call that, pulling down the, what is this, your oblique, right? An oblique crunch, right? That's what it kind of looks like. Yes, 100%. All right, what this also leads to is really violent throwers of the football. Ball jumps right out of the hand, okay? It's heavy all the time. Really can cut through the wind, can do all of those physical, throw it 100 mile an hour, pull down the shade type of football throws. Now, here's the deal. Hey, Brooks, who are some historical examples of these guys? And what does it matter? Well, here's the deal, okay? So that's a linear thrower. We just showed you that. Let me show you another one. This is one of the greatest linear throwers of all time, probably the greatest linear thrower of all time. There is that line right through that body, okay? Right through that left foot, right onto that kind of lean over the torso, right? You kind of see how we're leaning over that line through the ball down through our foot. Okay, that is a linear thrower. Okay, some of these older school guys, they're super linear throwers, right? Look at Tom Brady back in the day. This is before he left New England. Okay, we can do the same thing. We can draw that linear line, right? We're kind of leaning back over this football. We're kind of leaning back into this front side, right? All right, now Tom Brady, I love using him as an example for young quarterbacks because he is the greatest of all time. We all agree that, right? And he decided about, 19 years through his career, I'm going to go from being a linear thrower of the football to now becoming a rotational thrower of the football because I think it provides a more, successful path, I would imagine. It's a more repeatable path, okay? Every single time I throw the football, my shoulders are perpendicular to my spinal column. I am rotating right around the middle of my body, right? My front hip is pulling back. My back hip is pushing forward. I am rotating around the core and the spinal column, all right? Now, here's the best example of this, guys, okay? There are still examples in the league nowadays of linear throwers, right? I didn't show you too many young guys. Kirk Cousins leading the league right now in passing, being a linear thrower, right? We see that lean back on his body. That almost looks identical to our guy, Brock Vandagriff. Now, some will say, hey, question for the room. who is the greatest quarterback in professional football right now? Who's the greatest quarterback in the world?
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes. Let's take a look at it. Look, give me the Google search over here of Patrick Mahomes. We didn't even bring you a singular photo of Patrick Mahomes. We just bringing you the Google slate. Look at this shit. Every single time man's throws, look how square the damn shoulders are. Look at this. Every single time, square shoulders, square shoulders, square shoulders. Square shoulders on a deep ball warming up. How about this one? This was my favorite one down here. Where's him diving? Square shoulders on him diving. Square shoulders on him leaning. He's leaning right, square shoulders. Okay, so how do we become an elite rotational thrower? Well, we got to squat down. We got to sit down on it. That's my opinion, okay? Here's the deal. Give me back to one as y'all get that booty shot. How about that? Okay, we're leaning like this. We're really prone to rip the ball down. We're going to miss with that nose down on that football a lot, okay? The best way I can explain this, get into some judo or get into some mixed martial arts, learn how to throw a leading jab, right? If we can learn how to do this, if we can learn how to rotate our core, my boy Rudy, shouts out, congratulations on your wedding, by the way, taught me this about throwing the football. If I can throw a jab properly, and if I can rotate my lower body, if I can do this and keep my core tight, and I can rotate on that spinal column, I'm going to release as much possible energy at the end of that jab as humanly possible. Same thing with throwing a football. Okay, throwing a football, hitting a baseball, hitting a golf ball, throwing a punch. They're all identical in this standpoint. The only thing that allows us to produce force is our feet attached to the ground. It's literal ground force. That's the only way we can produce energy, from the ground. It's the only thing we're attached to. So however I rotate my core, however I produce that ground force from the feet up, that's going to result in how accurate and how explosive I'm ultimately going to be at the release point of that energy. We all got it? Damn, I got super nerdy. Did that make any sense at all for someone who doesn't know a lot about what I'm talking about?
Yeah.